We'll be returning the frequency to the Vintage Military Radio Network immediately, and we will be cleared K0D and CO2. Vintage Military Radio Network, the frequency is yours.
Morning there, Dave. Multiple heterodynes.
WA6K.
Ron, how's my audio sound? Well, listening on the earphones on the SCR-274N, I think everybody sounds about the same, but I can tell it was you right off the bat.
Well, I think Dave sounds like he's on a GRC-19 WA7YBS.
And you are correct there, Mike. And spent all day yesterday trying to get a microphone to work.
Well, good morning, Ron, and I think I heard Richard out there also, but nice to hear you on the Duty U-19, and nice to hear Ron, and I believe Richard on the 7MS.
In the group, WRC, I'll be listening.
Write you down as I hear you. Well, that's a scary thought, but I think we need to repeat the frequency, our carrier frequency, just in case. Mike, am I out of kilter somewhere on this thing? Am I coming in okay? Oh, no, you're just fine. It's just that I think THW was still confused last weekend because I repeated 7.4 several times, but he was on 7.5, so just in case. And we certainly don't want to be on 7.0. Okay. I didn't double with Mike, did I? Oh, no, I haven't heard him, but I thought just in case he's tuning up. Okay, all right. Thanks. Well, hey guys, so far I've got Ron in the #1 spot. This is in order of who I've heard. NU6F in the #1 spot. Good morning, Ron. Dave on the W6MQI on the GRC-19 sounded fantastic over here in Dayton Valley. Richard, WR6K, nice signal from Paso Robles this morning, and of course, Mike, W7MS, pounding in here as usual. So let me see if anybody else wants to check in, and we'll go ahead and get started here. #5 is open if you'd like to check in now. Well, I heard Cherry, but no audio. #5 is open. I'll check in now. Come now.
W6, this is
WA7YBS.
Okay, sorry for the delay, fellas. I was writing it down. I got Steve in the W6SSP in the number 5 spot. Good morning, Steve. And Henry, WA7YBS, in the 6th spot. Is there anybody else like to check in? B number 7, coming out. Okay, well, we'll go ahead and get started. We got folks to do that, and then I'll just pick up any stragglers there at the end. So, good morning to all. And everybody's coming in at this spot. We'll go ahead and get this thing fired up. So this is Vintage Military Radio Net. This is K0DWC. I'll be your next control. We'll be operating 3.974 megacycles. Vintage Military Radio Net is a roundtable AM net that provides an opportunity for licensed hands to operate their vintage military radio gear on the air. Military gear is encouraged, certainly not required. The number to be used in the handoff. Alcohol protection at the end of each round table. If anyone has anything for sale or want, please mention it during listening round table sessions. So we've got six excellent radio operators in now. Let's see if there's a number 7. Come now. Okay, well, let's check it. Check at the end of the first round. Okay, real quick rundown by call sign. Number 1, NU6F. Number 2, W6N2I. Number 3, WR6K. Number 4, W7MS. Number 5, W6SSP. And number 6, WA7YBS. So that's the countdown so far. We're on the ART 13 this morning, running approximately 200 watts. And listening on the R4, R7, everything's going out with a inverted B. And got Z104 on the That's our rundown here. I got the R388 as a backup just in case. So with that, we will send it over to Reno to Ron, NU6F in the group, K0DWC.
Okay, good deal, guys. Well, we're off to a great start. I hear almost no noise, and good deal. Well, this morning it's cold, but the sun's out, so looks great. Anyhow, good morning, Henry and Steve, Mike, Rich down in the Paso Robles, Dave, Chuck, Mike. Well, nothing else except for the SCR 74, yes, I guess it's the first time I've tried using the D104 on the SCR 274, and yeah, it sounds pretty good. Not quite as carbonate. Alright guys, with that, take it away, Dave, on the GRC9 W6NQI NU6F.
And NU6F W6MQI, that would be a GRC19. And good morning, everybody. Everybody's sounding pretty good here in Livermore. Got some QSP, though. Rather deep at times. Chuck almost faded away on me, but when he's up, he's up. Sounds good. And, yep, correct. GRC19, maiden run. I'm using a military headset that I modified with a boom, Dave Clark boom, and the mic element is a, I believe, one of those telephone inserts that people were using for T-17s. I modified this headset years ago, and I think that's what's in it. But, so I'm in the garage, freezing, and I'm standing off to the side of the transmitter to get away from the blast of air. Actually, I think the noise level of this rig is maybe a touch lower than the GRC 106, but not by much. So audio reports accepted. I also have a T17 mic with the EMS 94 element in it I'd like to try. So anyway, had it, is it Richard? I forgot to write it down. WR6R, W6MQI.
W6MQI in the group. WR6J, yes. So the call sign here is Whiskey Romeo 6 Juliet. So Juliet is the last letter. Thanks for passing it over, Dave, and thank you, Chuck, for taking it up this morning. I'm running a Viking Valiant, running about 100 watts of carrier, and I'm externally modulating it with an old tube transformer, output transformer, and an old modulation transformer, and then I have a power amplifier driving that. So having a little bit of fun with some external modulation. And I want to mean, Dave, the garage here this morning was in the low 40s down here in Paso Robles when I opened it up. But I opened the door to the house, turned the heat up full in the house, and turned the fan heater on here, and hopefully I'm getting some, it's actually a lot warmer now. So I'm going to keep things moving. Good morning to everyone. It's great to hear all of you out there. I think Mike is up next. W7MS in the group, WR6J.
Well, thank you, Richard. WR6J. Hello, W7MS. Doing a little modulation check there. I had the old dreaded dead battery in the D104 scramble here a few minutes ago, so I think we're close enough for amateur radio, right net control. So good morning to Chuck. Ron sounding great on the with the D104 on the 274N. Dave, a little nuance of GRC 19 in the background, just enough to give it a little 19 flavor, but nice to hear you. And sorry that you're freezing your arse off in the garage. And yeah, the noise level, I think, yeah, we can debate. I don't really know. They're both noisy, but I think my standard disclaimer is it really doesn't bother me having in my work life been in facilities with hundreds of muffin fans, if not other noise sources. So it just it's warm and fuzzy, or maybe it's just older age hearing loss. It doesn't bother me quite as much. And sounded great to hear it, and nice to touch base the other day on this specific subject. And good morning, Richard. Doing quite well from Paso Robles, and yes, there is some rapid deep fade, so maybe we're all in celebration of the upcoming time change in a couple of weeks when we have Henry as NCS, as he mentioned last week. Good morning, Steve. Doing well from Santa Rosa, and been monitoring your wants on the 40-meter swap net, so much success on accumulation. And good morning, Henry. Doing well from the Dayton Valley. Let me see a few comments before I give the weather rundown. I think it's currently 14 degrees. I had a low of 5 degrees yesterday morning, so we're moving into a warming trend with forecast of rain earlier in the week. So we're going to return back to the normal warm weather, but I have to congratulate Henry on mentioning that we still had many months of possible snow accumulation. He was dead on. I voted against that forecast, but he was extremely accurate on that one. And just mentioning that one, I still have probably 4 to 6 inches of snow in my circular driveway. I do break out the snow shovel and clean off the sculptured concrete, and that's in my own self-interest, so I don't have all that fretting and freeze damage, or at least prevent some of it. But the driveway is still pretty full up, and FedEx would not deliver to my house, to my front door. They pegged it as a weather delay. And shucks, I think the sun was out, but needless to say, I'm not going to depend on Mother Nature for snow melt. I'm gonna scoop out a little path out to the street, so maybe my FedEx box will be delivered Monday without a weather delay note on the tracking. So this morning, running the Collins ARC2 non-A. That's driving the 30S1 to about 250 watts of carrier. And a little bit different this morning, in competition with the 274Ns, I'm using the ARC5 receiver R24, and that's the 520 to 1.5 megahertz DF receiver, the one that's not quite as common as the one that's always available, the lower frequency version, and with the 174 kilohertz IF, running that as a Q5er for the ARC2A, which also came in handy because for some reason my audio amplifier that I would run direct out of the ARC2 has gone south. It's non-functioning this morning, so you know, if it ain't one thing, it's another. But with that, over to Steve, and good morning to you, W6SSP, W7MS.
Okay, Mike, W7MS, W6SSP. Good morning to everybody. Anyway, this is Steve, just north of Santa Rosa, running the usual Collins 75A1 receiver and 32V1 transmitter. 25 watts out into a dipole, and D104 microphone. Yeah, it's cold where you are, Mike, and probably Henry and Chuck. We're not used to that here in California. It really gets down to the 20s here, so temperatures of 5 to 10 degrees are just a scary thought for us. It was unheard of course. However, this week we did have some pretty wild weather earlier in the week. We had a major lightning storm right in this area, and in fact, lightning hit a large redwood tree about 2 miles from us and completely destroyed the tree. It exploded from the inside out, which is quite a sight. So I ran around disconnecting antennas and grounding them where I could. Nothing hit here, but it was all around us for a while. Pretty interesting. Something we don't see very often here. And Dave, the GRC19 sounds great. The audio is very well balanced, doesn't favor the highs or the lows, just sounds really good. Military-like, but actually a little bit better than that, I'd say. And let's see what else is going on here. I got a note this morning from the fellow I got the H&K Heinz & Kaufman transmitter from. And rooting around, he actually was able to find the ultra-rare Heinz & Kaufman 257C tubes. He found a pair of them that the original owner had with the transmitter, but were separated at some point. And to give you an idea of how rare these are, the only one I've ever seen mentioned is one major tube collector. So having a pair of these on the way is pretty nice. So. Conditions are kind of spotty here, a lot of QSB, so we'll keep it going and send it over to Henry. WA7YBS, W6SSP. Good morning, Henry.
Okay, well, that sounded like Vern. And, okay, well, we're doing the monitor here. There we go. Okay. Well, good morning to Vern. I guess I'll turn it over to you there. You'll be number 7. So there you go. Yeah, when I first checked in there, the ART13 was in carbon mic, and I had plugged the D104 in, so yeah, just carrier. And I kind of didn't remember that I had used the carbon mic last time I ran the ART13, but just switch it over to dynamic, and it's good to go. Okay, well, everybody's got good signals. And Dave, the GRC19 sounds like a GRC19. I think it sounds great. And, you know, I think Robert mentioned it, that the manual for the GRC19 specifies that. I think it's an M29 microphone. It's called the pork chop. And those are just awful microphones. So what you're using sounds great. And that's and yeah, we can hear the dynamos in the background, and the blowers and all that stuff that goes on with a GRC-19. That's the fun of it. Just don't sit in front of it during cold weather. It's like having the air conditioner on when it's 40 degrees in the shop. So anyway, sounds good. And everybody else is doing quite well also. As I mentioned, we're on the ART-13A, and so the SAMA Survivor, and probably about 125 watts or so, 120 watts, something like that, of carrier power out to the collinear array. The receiver is the Raycal RA17C, and that's the earliest version of the RA-17s that were made for NATO and North America. This one's from 1959. It's the earliest Raycal receiver that I have. And so this is an RA-17C Mark II. And so anyway, it's a little different. Got a few little different things. Doesn't have the wide bandwidth. And there's the antenna tuner front end of the receiver, the pre-selector is a little different. And it's just different. Not better, but not significantly worse than the Mark III. It's a little different though. And let's see, yeah, it was, I think the low here was about 17, 16, somewhere around there, 16 or 17. We didn't get a whole lot of snow, maybe 2 or 3 inches, and it melted rather quickly. It's still out there in spots, but it's doing good at going away. And so anyway, it's been cold, but not as cold as Mike. But it's been cold enough. Let's put it that way. So that I'm going to turn it over to Vern. And so K6VXY, you turn it back to Chuck, K0DWC net control. Go ahead, Vern, K6VXY WA7YBS.
Okay, let's see here. I'm going to do the grab the wrong microphone. I grabbed the mic for the radio I'm not using. Okay, let's see. I got the antenna switch. Clock was wrong. I mute the receiver when I'm transmitting this way. I sent out pictures to 4 people. I'm not sure if you got them, and I'm going to maybe go to Verizon tomorrow. I still have not figured out, even though I've been getting help from Verizon directly, how to take a picture that you took with your cell phone onto my computer. And there's other people I'd like to share the station setup here. It's the one I'm using right now, and I haven't been able to because I don't know how to get those pictures from one place to another. If anyone feels motivated, it's only a couple steps. I finally found the first thing is you have to script up on your cell phone with an arrow, and then that's a sharing button. And I tried to share it, but it wouldn't share. And I'm running the barometer barefoot right now, so I'm running about only about 10 watts or so. I'll kick in the linear here in a second. Actually, I should do it now. Do it. Aha, there we go. That probably makes a difference. Now I'm running about 70 or 80 watts, and that's an SB200 linear. Mostly Heathkit here today. The Marauder HX10, D104 microphone, same antenna, and receiving on the ICOM. Used to have an SB303. I've been looking for one. That could be all Heathkit. That went in the fire too, but that was a pretty neat receiver. I had the HQ140 also that got torched. But this, well,
the receiver here works pretty well. It's got all these bells and whistles on it. Newer type equipment. Oh. Gee, I hope that makes things a little better. I had the transmitter keying into a short, and now, let's see, there we go. Turn that down. Hope I sounded all right. My clock was wrong. I thought it was about 10 to 7. It was closer to 10 after 7. Real time. Maybe the power got them. Oh, we got more snow here, Henry, than any others. They had snow over there. You got it light. We have over 6 inches here, and it's just melting now to get the car out. And I know that's. I figured up there in Nevada you'd have more snow than us. So bouncing power, 60, 70 watts. Okay. Anyhow, and Handlesburn, Victor, Roger, Nancy, QTH is Groveland. And with that, I guess I turned it back. I got in at the tail end of the first round. I thought I was early. I'm sorry. Okay, K0DWC, this K6VXY back to that control.
Okay. Just wanted to see if anybody else is ready to jump in there real quick. All right, Vern, very good. Yeah, you made some good improvements there while you were on frequency there. So you're coming in pretty good again. Turn the amp on, it made a big difference. And glad you got it out of key. Good morning, Danny. Anyway, good morning, Vern. It's good to hear you. And I got your email, but I got no pictures. So the email came in, and you know, everything was there but the photographs. So that's a story from my QTH anyway. But okay, let's see, Ron. That D104 sounds really good with that SCR274. That thing really sounds neat. And Dave, your microphone sounds fantastic too. It does sound like a GRC19. I concur with the guys on that. So both of you, congratulations on both of those. And Steve, congratulations on the H&K Tubes acquisition. I've never had any of them, but I do know that you know, a lot of those are pretty rare. But great job there. And Richard, you got a good, nice, stable signal from Paso Robles into Dayton Valley this morning. So great job there. And well, Henry's ground pounding me over here, rattling the leaves. And everybody's doing pretty good. It's like Mike said, you know, there's just a tad bit of fade here and there, negligible at best right now, anyway. But not a problem. Q5 from everybody. So anyway, we'll go ahead and well, let me make a call out one more time. See if there's a number 8 out there. If you'd like to check into the Vintage Military Radio Net and be number 8, you can come now.
Okay, I don't know if you turned it over or not, Chuck. I got it.
Yeah, I was just waiting to see if there was a number 8 out there, because I know Bill hadn't checked in and Frank hasn't checked in, and I didn't hear Mike K0DW. I know he's been checking in the last couple of weeks. I didn't know if he was going to check in or not. Okay, we'll start round 2, and we'll head back up to you, Ron. Yeah, go ahead and take it. NU6F and a group K0DWC.
Yeah, okay, Chuck. Yeah, your audio keeps tailing off. I think it's just you're backed off from the mic and listening on the SCR274 earphones. Well, I can't stick them up close to my head, or else you know, the sudden noise bursts really rattle the earphones. All right, guys. Well, conditions are still excellent as far as I'm concerned. No noise. So, and Vern, even with your QRP 10 watts, I caught most of that. and of course a whole lot better with the 811s helping things along. And Dave, good deal on the GRC 19, and yeah, sounds like the Electrolux vacuum cleaner running against the back of the microphone. So yeah, I guess you've got plenty of airflow. You may be out in, I think you said you're out in the shop or the garage, but yeah, don't worry about carbon monoxide buildup. I don't think those blowers will let anything build up. And Richard, yeah, great signal, as it has been. So yeah, don't change anything, at least not for the net. It looks like the antenna, the way it's set up, all working great. Yeah, Mike, on the cold temperatures, yeah, I think it was 5 was the low the other day here. I haven't checked. I usually just look at the Stead Airport weather, and I think with chill factor it was whatever, -3 or 4 the other day. And I don't know. It looks cold. So if you say it's a 7 or 5, whatever it is, that's probably what it is. And snow-wise, yeah, you know, I'm blessed with my southerly exposure for the driveway, the sidewalks. It's all blocked by the house, so I'm almost the last one to get rid of the snow buildup. Shoveling off the driveway and the sidewalk 3 times this week, and yeah, looks clear now, so the rain will be good to get rid of all that. And yeah, ditto on the FedEx deliveries. Yeah, Amazon's been sending me the notes for the last couple of days. So unable to deliver. Monday, was it Monday? I think it was Tuesday. Yeah, anyhow, I got a call from an unknown call, and it was the Amazon driver. She was down at the gas station over at Stead in Lear. And she said, I'm not able to make it out there, but if you want to come by, you can pick up your packages. So she's done that twice this week, which is the first time that's happened for me. And let's see, radio-wise, projects, let's see, Henry on the Litzwire. Okay, I had the latest batch of Litzwire came the other day, which was the 660 strand number 16, and it had kind of like a wrapped silk look-alike kind of a wrapping over top of the enamel bundle. But yeah, I found the magic temperature was 700 degrees and some flux, and I made the tails, the twisted tails long on the matching transformer, the 630 meter matching transformer. So I have it running from 15 ohms to 200 ohms. I got 10 taps and switched on it. It's all packaged up and works very well. Had it run last night at 400 watts on Whisper all night long, and went out to check, and still nice and cool. So I think there is some advantage to the Litzwire down at that low frequency, at least for transformer use on toroids. Yeah, it seemed like it's worth the effort. And let's see, what else I was going to say? Yeah, Steve on Lightning nearby, and well, I guess Lightning struck again since you got the 257 tube, so that's great. So one bad lightning strike and one good lightning strike. And Henry, okay, on the RA-17C. How many RA-17s do you have? I know I've heard the RA-17s you mentioned before. I think there's probably a couple of suffixes that you have. All right, Vern, I guess the squirrels are too busy keeping warm rather than mess around with your antennas, so good deal. Okay, with that, take it away, Dave. W6MQI and U6F.
All right. And U6F, W6MQI.
Well, Ron, you got a lot going on over there.
had no idea you had an SCR 274 set up. Keep pulling stuff out of the hat over there. Sounded really good with the D104. I think I used the T17 with mine. I don't know if I used the D104, but it sounded good. And let's see, good morning to Vern. Yep, keep the amplifier on. I concur with Ron. I will hear you on low power, but a lot better on high power. And sorry about the call there, Rich. I don't know what I wrote something. Wrote it down there. My chicken scratch. I probably wrote it down right, but I couldn't read my own chicken scratch. Steve, yeah, lightning. And good. FP1 finding some tubes too. They sound pretty rare. Yeah, the lightning, I worry about that moving out to North Carolina. If I put up a tower, basically I'll erect a lightning rod. So I'm going to have to definitely invest in lightning protection, or suppression, or whatever you want to call it, if I ever decide to put a tower up out there. And what else here? And yeah, Henry, I do have an M29 microphone, and it's dead. I was reading the website, and I didn't even go there. Plus, it has the wrong connector on it. But yeah, it's a pretty cool rig. I'm gonna have to modify the mic cord. It's a little on the short side. I'm kind of stretching it a little bit to get off to the side to get away from the jet engine exhaust. But maybe need another 2 feet or so. I'll be free and clear. When I was first turning this radio up, I was thinking it was operating back up here. When I was first tuning up the radio, it's got that tuning indicator light, and I was assuming it functioned like the ART-13. Once the radio tuned, the light came on, and it would stay on. This doesn't do that. It only happens when you transmit. Other when you load up on the key, the light goes off. So I think that's the way the ART-13 works. But so I had to get on the manual and figure that out. And but all in all, it's working. I had to work on my PP4763 power supply. The cable that Brown gave me, it's probably like, I don't know, 15 feet long. And I had to pull the 2 power cables out of the back of the PP47, the power supply, and rehook up the longer one. But I couldn't get the wire back in there. It's just that wire is so stiff. I couldn't get it to bend, and I was worried about it shorting and such. So I 3D printed myself a 1-inch tall extension box to space the plate out from the power supply, and that worked really well. And so that's working. But man, that power supply is a beast. I forgot how heavy it was. I actually have rollers on mine so I can roll it around, but man, I forgot how heavy that thing was. Getting it from the shack out in the backyard to the garage using my hand truck, leaving divots in the lawn as it went across the wet lawn. All right, guys, let's see. I think that's all I had, so hand it over to Richard. I'll get the call right this time. WR6J, W6MQI.
W6MQI, WR6J. Thank you very much. I appreciate the call, Dave, the passover, Dave, and thanks for the call sign. No big deal. I think Chuck had got me with a K on the end there, so just thought I'd get that cleared up. Working on well spelling myself. I've never been looking at our pages for most folks, but You are peaking at about +5, F9 +5 at my station. Very, very clean audio. I mean, it's, you know, someone else on military audio, but very clean, 100% copy. So that's working very well. Just look through my notes here. Yeah, so Ron, very interested in a bunch of things you said, but particularly the whole 630-meter stuff. I set myself an objective this time last week to get my 630-meter station up and running in some shape or form, and I did manage to do that. I got an antenna app, I think, whatever it was, Friday afternoon. I had to do a lot of weed whacking. Everything has been growing like it's a jungle here in Paso Robles. But I had to do a lot of weed whacking for the radial field, but I did manage to get a Marconi style antenna up. It's only about 30 feet of vertical, and the capacity hat is about 130 feet of top hat, found between a couple of trees, and then the old Ace hardware bracket, and about, I think of the order about 400 microhenry coil, and shunt loaded it, just threw something together pretty quickly and pretty simply. But it does seem to be working. So Ron, I noticed watts on the wellcome. You said you were running 400 watts last night. The wellcome we're peaking to +5 dB signal to noise ratio, so that's great. I ran a few tests transmitting, and I was probably only putting out about 1 watt into the antenna, so with 5% efficiency, maybe 50 milliwatts out. But I noticed you picked me up, the peak signal was negative 15 dB that you received me, so at least I know I'm getting out. Sounds like you've got a 400 watt amplifier. I think I'm going to build a 100 watt amplifier just to get started, and that's going to give me a ridiculous amount of gain compared to what I have right now, so that'll be great. Well, looking forward to that. What other stuff? Lightning strikes, yes. Actually, we had some here in Paso Robles. I disconnected my antenna. That's something I have to do very often. And I work for Stanford University, and we had the lightning strike up at Stanford that killed one of the PGE substations, and power was out for about 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours actually, probably closer to 3, for the whole campus until they managed to get switched to a backup circuit. So lightning does happen, even up in the Bay Area and Santa Rosa area. I've been doing a little bit of antenna work. The antenna I'm on right now is a doublet, cut for about 80 meters, and then it's fed with a ladder line, and then I'm using a tuner, SA4060, whatever it's called. But during the big storms we had, the wind, I noticed that I was on the OMI the other day, and it was not tuning up quite right. Anyway, long story short, got the antenna down and found out that one side of the ladder line had become disconnected. So no wonder. It was behaving like some kind of work antenna, I suppose. It was getting out, but its control was compromised. So that's back up. And that's what I'm using right now, and hopefully it's working okay. And going on the Marauder, just to let you know, I could hear you when you were running 10 watts. I could hear you inside here at my station happen. So you were getting out. And I noticed a bit of a difference when you kicked in the linear, but it didn't make a huge difference to my ability to receive. So doing pretty well there on the Marauder. And Chuck, thank you for the nice signal report. I'm getting, you're coming through, you're probably one of the weakest stations here for me, but you're getting hit more than anyone else by the QSC. There's definitely some QSC happening, and people are coming and going, and you got hit a couple of times. But I have managed to copy everyone pretty much 100% from the local station here, and definitely agree with this low noise. So I think that's about it. I've rambled for long enough, and it decides to boulder. So good to hear all of you, and over to W7MS, WR6J.
Well, thank you, Richard. WR6J, W7MS, Mike and Reno. Still good reception from all. Signal to noise is declining, but also the ramble deep pace has gone away. So it's life is a compromise. But comments here, well, fine between Richard and Ron on 473. Looks like you're very busy. And hopefully Ron's not going to totally diminish the supply of Litz wire. He's been quite busy developing, rediscovering soldering techniques. I'm glad he's successful in that area. And Dave, as others have mentioned, sounding great. And with
your travails with the power supply and the divots in the lawn. I wonder what the wife's reaction was to that. Or maybe you were fortunate enough to be able to pull that one off without witnesses, but must have been quite a project. And Steve, yeah, well, lightning. That's no one wants to be the center of attraction, but when it's close to home, that's something else. But I know when I lived in the Bay Area, you know, it was unusual to have lightning activity. Quite dramatic when it did happen, whereas on the east side of the Sierras, it's quite a summertime activity. But seemed to be still quiet, generally quiet in North America. I did, for some reason, I woke up at 1:45 a.m. Saturday morning and decided to listen to the East Coast Military Net, which starts here at 2 a.m. local on 3885. And the fact, in crossing my toes, that there was no Midwestern static crashes, and there wasn't. It was all quiet, but propagation wasn't sufficient. I can only hear one station clearly, so we eavesdropped. Mr. Brown, NZR, was not net control, and I couldn't hear net control, so we just shut things down. But it's the second time over the last couple of seasons where I've been somewhat motivated to drag myself out of the sack and see if we could complete a two-way, and more interested in the successful communications rather than just eavesdropping on what they're up to. And most of the guys are running rarely, fairly 100-watt radios with average antennas, so not quite orientated for the West Coast. And Henry, great on the lineups there, and the rain shadow effect for Dayton. That's always great. And a hearty good morning to Vern. A note to folks on frequency. I think I had 3 or 4 different emails from Vern, and 3 of the 4 contained what was defined as a text TXT file. But one of them did have the pictures of the shacks, so I did receive those, Vern. So maybe it's a chance to check the trash or the spam folders and see if they've shown up. But nice picture, Vern. Nice to see that. And heard you on the 10 watts, and with the boots attached to the transmitter. So with that, we're going to roll it over to Steve. And one comment. Here we go. Doing a Vern, but yeah, we have a gentleman affiliated with the KCWA that was a neighbor, or in the neighborhood of the owner of H&K, and he brought for share and tell, brought some H&K artifacts because he did attend, or at least had a chance to tap the estate sale from his near neighbor there, and had a few interesting H&K objects and memorabilia. So congratulations on the tubes. That's great that, as we all know, this guy probably had a decent digging done over the H&K tubes, so congratulations. So over to you, W6SSP, W7MS.
Okay, Mike, thank you. W7MS, W6SSP. Yeah, the QSB seems to have gotten a lot better. And it's still up there, so we'll see how it goes. I was raised in west central coast of Florida on an island, and lightning was almost a daily occurrence, depending on the time of year. My sister and I used to sit in the back of the house, picture them up, while we watched the large metal water tank on the adjacent island get hit by lightning all the time. I mean, it was, if lightning was going to hit anything, it hit that tower. And boy, that was fun for kids. Not being so much fun as being in a building when it was hit by lightning. That's happened a number of times. So I don't care to repeat that experience, but having it close was kind of nice. I traveled almost the way from Florida. But not if it's too close, like a this time. And something I have here, though, talking about grounding towers when you get out to North Carolina. Something I have that I probably brought west from Florida as a commercial tower ground. And a pretty interesting thing. All solid copper. It's a cylinder about 5 inches diameter, maybe 2 feet long, holes in it. Gaps on both ends. That's right, they use rock salt at the top to improve conductivity when it got wet, I would imagine. And there's this massive, I don't know what the diameter is, maybe it's an 1.5 inch diameter of woven solid copper cable with a huge rub on the end of it. I guess this thing weighs 30 pounds of solid copper. Anyway, it's pretty interesting thing. And I've never seen anything quite like that out here. Probably not much of a moment. But it might be useful in North Carolina, depending on where you are. Close to the coast, it'd probably be more lightning while we went up in the hills. And let's see, I want to take the opportunity to shout out to Jason, W6BBQ in Southern California. He heard my request for a Model 15 teletype, some parts from it. And he responded through email and says he has one that is quote-unquote very crusty, but has the parts I need. So I'm looking forward to possibly getting that. The both live in Southern California, and I'm not. The book probably will be going to the MRCG meet in May. So maybe if somebody's going down there to that, they can check somewhere in this area. Hopefully that's some of those off. So I'll put that request out later. Other than that, it's been too darn cold to be out in the shop, so I've been making a list of parts I need to complete projects and to attain critical mass to start others. Let's see what else. I guess that's about it for me. So heading out to breakfast with a group of guys from HP, so I'll say 73. See y'all next weekend. St. John Henry. WA7YBS, W6SSP.
Well, okay. 73 Steve. And, yeah, good copy on although the QSB is, you know, not getting any better, at least at this point here. So anyway, but solid copy. And, so very good. Okay, on the Litz wire, and you know, that was Beveridge was the guy, Harold Beveridge, there that came out. You know, he worked for RCA and all of that sort of stuff. Did a lot of stuff at Rivers Head, the tip of Long Island, at long wave station there from the 20s, and. He came to the, you know, of course, he was the Beveridge, the guy that invented the Beveridge antenna, which is, you know, a really long antenna, only about 15 feet off the ground, and some matching resistors, loaded resistors, whatever they are, to get it directional. But at any rate, Beveridge said that you didn't really need that Litz wire until you got down to about 100 kilocycles, and then it became essential. But you look at all of the receivers and stuff from the 20s, and once they get below about 500 kilocycles, they start using Litz wire for all the coils. So what Beveridge thought and what actually happened, I guess, were kind of different. And let's see, the GRC-19, as you know, as stated again, it sounds great. And one thing about it is, if you're operating in the summer, it is nice to sit in front of it. When it's operating, it's kind of like air conditioning. So that's good. And but in the winter, yeah, it's not so good. And Richard doing good, Mike doing good, and Vern, yeah, copied you on 10 watts. Copied you better with the kit amp. So there we go. Okay. Oh yeah, RA-17s. Yeah, I have 4 of them. I have the RA-17C, which is the oldest one, the one that I'm listening to now. And then I have the RA-17C12, which is the one that was really the very one that you see a lot because they were made kind of specifically for the United States. And the RA-17L is the British version. It's made in and for Great Britain. And then the one that was made in Silver Spring, Maryland, when Raycal had a plant there, and that's the RA-6117. So it's like a British RA-117, except made in the United States. Great receivers, and it's just sometimes parts are a little bit of a problem, and sometimes you got to find a guy that's nice over in England and is willing to send you stuff. So anyway, let's see, update on the R391. We are all functional, including the auto tune. It is cool to watch that thing auto-tune. It is it tunes that receiver right down to the low-end frequency stop, and then it auto-tunes right up to the frequency that you set. And so it's very cool. You got 8 channels, and so if you have 8 favorite frequencies, well, you can program them in, and you're good to go. The only thing that's left to do on the R391 is the diode pack that's under the power supply that runs the antenna relay and the break-in relay. That is a magnesium copper sulfide rectifier, which is copper oxide rectifier, and those things are always bad. So I have to make a replica of that. I'm waiting for the diodes to get here. Couldn't believe I couldn't find any 1N4000 series type diodes, 4004s and stuff like that. But I couldn't. I found every other kind of diode, but not any of those. So anyway, when the diodes get here, I'll make up the pack, and we'll be fully operational then. So that's the update on the R391. So with that, Vern, I did get the same as Mike. I got some emails that were in the spam folder, and a lot of them were texts, and one of them did have photographs. So I did get the photographs. And the station looks nice, the cabinet looks nice dark Heathkit green. So there you go. Over to you, K0DWC and WA7YBS.
Okay, let's see. Yeah, I got the power turned up a little bit on the Marauder. Turn this down. And I've got that switched on the right way. And how much power? Oh yeah, see, I'm running. See, look here with my 80. Oh, there's 100. Maybe as much as 120 watts. So I'm going to back it down a little bit. Let's see here. But I'm still below the 100 mils. But why mess with it? I'll turn it down a little bit. Yeah, that put me right at what? 80, a little over 100 watts. And it's upward modulation. I think Henry described it pretty well there a few weeks ago. What they do is they take one of the side bands, I think it's the upper one of all things, and it modulates. And they put a carrier in with it and create AM. And that's what they do here on the Marauder. And it's kind of comforting when I'm speaking to see the power kick up instead of down, which is the control carrier that goes out of the icon. Okay, Henry, on you and Ron had the strongest signals. You were 20 over, and the ERT13 is good. But you talk about that 391 receiver. I never saw that. We had an R390 on our ship, and for those of you that got the more recent photos, in the upper right-hand corner of it is a picture of the ship I was on. I thought that'd be great for the military net. It's the USS Long Beach. We sailed with the Enterprise, which is better known, on a cruise back in 1964. I lost the original picture I had, and this came from my niece's husband, who spent 20 years in the Navy, and he got a photograph, and he sent a copy of something that they distributed throughout the Navy. And that's the ship I was on, and our berthing area was down below toward the front of the ship, and then the ET shop, they called it ET Shop 2, was ET Shop 1 was more tied in with the RF communications. ET Shop 2 was the good old AM, and mostly sideband, not AM, communications using Collins equipment. And I was responsible for that, and then also the big linear, the 5 kW. And I actually had jerry-rigged a good old ham radio one time. It was out, and we went through there right after the Gulf of Tonkin, so they needed me to communicate with, I don't know what they were talking about, probably something special, communicate with Wake Island. And the signal reports, like I said, Ron, you and Henry, a little stronger. Maybe it was conditions. Everyone else was 10 over. You guys were 20 over. And the other thing is, yeah, I'll get this thing figured out. It's maddening, but I'm very happy with the way this. It looks just like the more recent pictures. Dave got one too. He made a comment. His went through real quick. He may have been on the computer or something, or on his phone when I sent it, because I got a response within, I don't know, 3 or 4 minutes. But I do have a great squirrel report. I meant to talk about it earlier, but I was waking up. Yesterday and the day before, I would take the water hose out on the front porch and squirt on the car in certain spots to see if I could help the ice melting along so I can get the car out of there. But yesterday morning, there was a squirrel out there in front of the RCRB that we have, and he was in front there, and I thought, oh, I'm going to shoot that squirrel. And he went to the side of the car, which is the end of the driveway before it goes into the bushes. And then he ran to the back side of the car, and I said, well, I'm going to let him have it. And I just kept the water spraying, and there was a distance of about, you know, with the high intensity nozzle there, maybe 50 feet. And of all things, he started drinking the water. He leans back, and I thought, gee, he's getting wet now. But then I thought, I bet he's used to cold water and rain. He can handle it. Probably has thick fur or something. And he started drinking the water. He rocked his head back, and he's drinking the water like he's drinking out of a shower. You're drinking a shower, and you open your mouth, and you drink the shower water coming down, and that's exactly what he was doing. That's the time you wish you had a camera. My cell phone wasn't with me, but that was a classic moment, standing there behind our vehicle. With one of the bushes still on the driveway in the middle of the snow. And just drinking away, having a ball. Okay, so the signal report should be pretty good now. I'm keeping the power up, and yeah, the SB200, someone said something about 811s, but it uses 572Bs, uses 2 of them. Whereas my 811 amp, which is now sitting on the floor below it, that, if you see a little square chunk of something with paper on it, that's the 811 amp just resting there as backup. But I like having all the heat in here, and I got to get that thing I got last year from the summer swap there at the N7 RCA, the heat kit monitor for my signal, and I'll get that going. But I'm not quite sure I'll put it. I probably have to set the TR relay or something above it. And Mike, I'm still using it. If you saw that picture, I think you saw the picture. It's still the orange Variac. I'm still powering up like it has blown capacitors. So why not? You know, I just bring it up slowly to 120 volts, and off we go. So with that, I'm going to turn it back to Chuck and see if there is a number 8 check-in. Let's see, it's almost 8 o'clock now. Boy, look at that meter jump.
All right, now I'm really on the mic. That's probably overmodulating. All right, pump up to 150 watts a piece.
I don't want to do that. Let's see what the rotor does.
Oh yeah, it's jumping up there.
120 mils. It doesn't want to be over 100, so I'll back off. No, over to Chuck. K0DWC, and I guess you're going to look for any possible check-ins for final K0DWC.
Okay, guys. All right, Vern, K6BXY, K0DWC. Yeah, we'll see if there's a number 8 check-in. Wants to check in bottom of the second round here. If you'd like to check in, you can come now. Okay, nothing heard, so let's see here. Well, it's 7-3s to Steve. Yeah, there is some QSB coming in here as well. Everybody's still copyable, but like Henry said, it's not getting any better. So let's go ahead and start the 7-3 round, fellas, and go back up to the top. And NU6F in the group, K0DWC. 7-3 round, guys.
Okay, good deal. Yeah, caught you there at the tail end there, Chuck. You faded out on the QSB that time, but otherwise, I'm just tickled pink to have a quiet 75 meters. Wow, what a difference! I guess our rain and snow has really cleaned things up around out here. So, apparently, I got a lot more power line noise than I used to think I had. But anyhow, enjoy it while it's here. And let's see, up and down the list. Okay, Steve's already meeting with his HP buddies over breakfast. See who picks up the tab. And Dave, okay, on the power supply. And then again, man, you are the man when it comes to 3D printing. It's almost like whatever it is you see in your head, somehow you manage to make. So great. Wish I had that, developed that talent. And yeah, lightning. Everybody's got lightning stories. My big one was 95 and a 99. Twice up there at my place out of Gold Run. I got hit. And major damage on, no structural damage, but yeah, ended up having to rewire the whole house. It was a pretty strong hit. And in 99, there was another hit. I was at the other end of the property, about some QRM. No. Thought I heard a heterodyne there on the SDR. Anyhow, so yeah, 99 was a big hit. I was there at the other end of the property. I had 2 services, one for the shop garage, one PG&E service there at the other corner of the property. And I was over there feeding the donkeys after work. Opened up, split a bale of hay, and wham, 50 feet away. Oh. And pretty impressive. I couldn't see or hear for a while. Came to. Those donkeys, they were for BLM donkeys that had got them from here in Nevada, and, you know, it did not faze them a bit. I just figured they'd take off running. Didn't faze them a bit. Apparently they had seen plenty of lightning strikes all their life. Pole was on fire. I had to go over and drag a hose out there and put the manzanita that was on fire down below it. But that hit, by the time that hit came, I'd already, after the hit 95, I put the lightning rods in all the big pine trees around the house and the garage. And, yeah, they did their work. So, anyhow, let's see, and what else? And, yeah, okay, good deal, Richard, on getting your 630-meter antenna thrown up. That's about the same as mine. It's 30-foot vertical and about 160-foot horizontal for the capacity hat. And, yeah, like I said before, I was very much surprised at how well I was able to do with grounds here after doing a lot more work. But radials, ground rods, all make quite a bit of difference in the antenna impedance. So, say, when the ground's wet, I'm down to like 20 ohms, so pretty easy to match. And yeah, hopefully you get the amp going, and we can have a CWQ. So should be an easy path, huh? And Mike, let's see what else I was going to say here. Oh, good deal on the R2 and marrying the ARC-V along with the package for your Q5er. There you go, mixing World War II vintage technologies, something they could have done back then. And Henry, okay, on the Ray Cal lineup. Okay, well, I thought you had more than that, but that's pretty cool on the R391. I gotta look to see if I can find a video. Maybe you can upload one. I don't think I've seen, I know I've never seen the R391, but yeah, it'd be kind of cool seeing it go through its, go through its paces, picking frequencies, jumping there, and good deal. Vern, and I'm sure that the SPCA will send you a honorary mention for giving water to a thirsty squirrel. Albeit it was freezing cold, but alright, Freddie didn't bother many. Alright, with that, thanks a bunch, Chuck, for riding herd on things, and like I say, it was so little pain in hearing everybody this morning. I hope that continues. Alright, with that, take it away, Dave, W6MQI and U6F.
I think station from Half Moon Bay's on.
Yes, November 6th, Bravo 20 in Northern Moon.
Yeah, stand by just a minute there, Dave. I hear Bill, M6 Bravo Charlie Tango. Bill, I've got you in the number 8 spot. So stand by. We just went to the top of the list on the 7-3 round. So I've got you at the bottom of the list in number 8. So stand by. W6MQI. Go ahead, Dave.
All right, Chuck. Yeah, I thought I heard Bill in there. I was reaching for his call and I couldn't remember it. All right, good morning to Bill. And Ron, I'm glad the propagation gods worked out for you. Well, I guess not really the propagation, but the noise gods, or whatever you want to call them, worked out for you today. All right, guys, I'm going to shut this thing down, go inside, warm up, get some breakfast, and I think my project for today is going to be to lengthen the cord on this microphone so I can get a little farther away. This summer, it will be nice to sit in front of it, like Henry said, but right now, it's not too fun. So anyway, guys, it's 7:03, and we'll talk to everybody next week. So, over to Richard, WR6J, W6MQI.
W6MQI and the group WR6J. Thank you very much, Dave. Good luck with the microphone cord. I'll keep this fairly brief because I know we're a little bit past time. A couple of questions. One actually, maybe something from a graphical. It does sound like there might be a meetup in May. Looking back to previous years, it looks like you folks have gone to San Luis Obispo. Well, I'm in Paso Robles, so I'm 20 minutes north. So if there is something happening in May, I'd be interested to know what to look for. And then maybe I can come down during the day and visit. I'd love to get face to face with some of you folks. Steve is not on the net anymore, but he's going to move up with some of his HP friends. He's up there in Santa Rosa, so he works for the facility up there. I worked for HP for about the first 13 years of my career. So several time ago, starting in the UK. In fact, that was my ticket out here, was coming out from Hong Kong. So I'll check up with him in another net and find out. We're probably work with 40 meter stuff. I don't have a ground rod out. I put out 32 rodeo at about 45 feet, because that's the wire that I had. So about 42 radios at 45 feet. So hopefully, that's helping. I've got a tuning out before. I'm thinking about getting maybe a vertical mast with about 45, 50 foot fiberglass mast, so that I can really increase the length of the radiating section, because I think it's going to make the most difference. I'm interested to know how you're matching it. We'll catch up later sometime, but I'm just shunt feeding mine to get stickier in there. I'm sure there are other ways to do all of this. And we'll just do a cheaper at some point, as you say. So next step is to get the amplifier running. I'd like to use a 4D32. I think the single 4 feet to the track. Actually, again, a single 4D32 running at about 800 watts to get me 100 plus watts. So we'll try and get that running sometime. And with that, I'm going to listen to the end of the net, but it's been great to catch up with all of you this morning. And thanks again, Chuck, for running the net. And I'm going to pass it over to W7MS and the Military Radio Collectors Group. This is WR6J73 all.
Okay, well, thanks, Richard. WR6JW7MS, Mike in Reno. Well, still good reception from all. And good morning to Bill and 6BCT. Didn't know what he had to say, but we'll listen for his first round. But good morning to he. And Dave's already in the house, probably getting some potential dagger looks from his wife, thinking her comments about being radio crazy, but that's okay. That's a standard operating procedure. But the comments, great on the R391 updates, Henry, and that's great. And I wanted to comment that Frank, obviously Frank's KB0W is not here today because with the real snowfall up at Heavenly Valley, we know he's out making some turns at the ski resort this morning. So we'll look forward to hearing some updates from Frank sometime in the future weeks, because he's going to be busy on Sunday, enjoying the snow. But comments, yeah, lightning. I'm not going to go back with a super refresher, but St. Elmo's fire back in the 80s. We'll save that story for the dustbin. But that's about it from Reno. Everybody have a great weekend, and 7-3s. Steve is signed. So over to Henry, WA7YBS, W7MS.
Okay, Mike, W7MS, WA7YBS. All right. Yeah, I heard Bill there. I guess he was, I don't know if he was doubling there with Ron or with Dave or somebody. But yeah, I could tell it was him. So good morning to Bill. And let's see, I don't think there's too much else in the to comment on, so I will go ahead and say 73 all around. Everybody have a good week coming up, and hope to see everybody back next weekend. So with that, 73, and over to Vern, K6VXY, WA7YBS.
Switches thrown, and the power is still up. It's K6VXY. Okay, Henry. Got it right. And I'll make it quick too. I was going to say something. Oh, about FedEx. I'm getting a shipment. It was supposed to be here Friday, then they said Saturday, and then they made some excuse on Friday about the snow. Following them up, I'm supposed to get it this morning, Sunday morning. Well, good. I hope to get it. What it is a unit that comes from my DirecTV, and it's called a Genie control box versus the. Oh wait, it's not a Genie. It's the what's the other one? The Genie is the one I got. This is called a Galleon one or another. I forget the word. Anyhow, it's a box to give me 4K, and I got a 4K TV. Maybe I can see the tail end of the Olympics in 4K. A lot of this stuff coming through now is 720 or 1080. 720, it's good, but at least I wasn't getting the stuff that they say it's 4K and it'll be broadcast by DirecTV, but it doesn't receive it unless I have this Gemini unit is what they call the new one. So hope to get that today. 73's good morning to Bill, and I'll have it on high power and turn it over to Bill. And here you're fine there, Bill. N6BCT in the group 73s to all. Talk to you next week. This is K6BXY. Listening out.
Glad you made the last round. Better late than never. That's great. Okay, guys. One other thing. Richard, WR6J. My apologies. I don't know why I said K, because I knew it was a J. And I even looked on my papers, previous papers, and I had you wrote down as J. So that was on me. That's my bad. So. WR6J. Anyway, thanks for being there. Thanks for all you guys for being there. We appreciate it. And I'll go ahead and shut the net down. Oh, Henry, I'll give you a buzz later this afternoon and go over some stuff. And then, I guess I'll just stop and end the net right here. So, this is K0DWC, and I'm Eastern Cherokee Veterans Military Radio Net for today, and I'd like to thank everybody for their participation. Glad everybody back next Sunday morning. We're ready to back over to the next week. Carl will be in that control next week. March the 1st, I think. So, she'll be in that control next week. If things go well. And we'll look forward to that. So, guys, have a good day and a good week ahead. Talk to you later. Over the next
WA7YBS